these creatures are so efficient at bioconversion. They are genius at it. And they've done it for millions of years, and we're doing it after we've gone, I suspect.
My name's Doug Wansell, and we're here today on Bank Farm in Aldington in the southeast of England. So we've got the coast over there, we can see France on a good day, Canterbury in that direction, and we've got Ashford is our nearest town. Our farming system has changed very much over the past few years, but now today we're about 300 hectares. We have arable, we have a market garden which we're standing in amongst now, and then we have a poultry enterprise where we produce eggs and meat. We have our own on-farm retail with our 24-hour vending machine called the Egg Machine, and we very much have adopted a circular system, and the Black Soldier Fly Larvae system that's subject to the Adopt grant is a very important element.
So my name is Richard Small. I am the owner and founder of Inspro. We've been going 8 years. Various bits of research we've done at universities, dozens of universities. We've been on this farm, Bank Farm in Kent, with Doug Wansell, who's the farmer, working closely for about 5 years. Here we have landed our bioconversion unit, which is a modular bioconversion unit. It gives the farmer a chance to use our technology without investing heavily in kit. And then we run it for a number of years. We've also been experimenting here with my work at Surrey University. And what we do is we take food waste, we mill it, we pump it into blue trays, and then onto the blue trays we put these just hatched neonates from Black Soldier Fly. Their ability is to bioconvert stuff, and so they bioconvert food waste very quickly. The two outputs are a larvae, which is about 0.2 of a gram, 2 centimeters long, fed to a chicken just down the road, and frass. Frass is the other output, the poo from the Black Soldier Fly, which has an NPK of about 523, so it's a useful fertiliser, natural slow-release fertiliser, better than an artificial fertiliser. So basically we're taking food waste, we're making it into feed for chickens and frass. The feed goes into the chicken lays an egg or becomes a roast chicken, and so we're taking food waste and making human food. And the food waste would be things like pomegranate, husks, loads of any fruit and vegetables, bakery waste, dairy waste, not animal byproducts.
Yeah, look, we're a multi-enterprise business. That is what circular agriculture is, or any sort of circular system is. And so, you know, we had a number of different potential waste streams. You know, I talked about the fruit and veg business that I'm involved with. They have a waste stream. The distillery has a waste stream, and quite often, you know, the distillery this morning have sent me a message saying they need 6.5 tons of clean wheat. So we're going to supply them with the wheat to go into the distillery, and then the material will come out at the end that we'll be able to use either in a composting or with the Black Soldier Fly larvae.
We can bring food back into the human supply chain, which would otherwise have gone for anaerobic digestion or composting, neither of which are very high valorization processes. We are genuinely putting food back into the supply chain, which is replacing soya, famously unsustainable and unenvironmental, with a very sustainable product.
But the advantage of feeding live larvae to chickens is it enables them to express normal behaviour. So again, from a welfare and health and welfare perspective, it's very positive for the birds.
People are processing Black Soldier Fly, they're drying them in expensive to run ovens, then they're milling them, and then they're pelletizing them, and they move them up to Scotland to feed fish. Okay, but none of this is for free in terms of money and carbon. We produce a few Black Soldier Fly here from fruit waste, which is from North Kent, and we feed chickens which are 100 yards down the road. I mean, that is a beautiful story of circularity and localness. Interestingly, anaerobic digestion is a bit full now because domestic waste has to go through AD and not go to landfill. That means the capacity of anaerobic digestion is a little full, and therefore people are looking for better solutions. And I also think the major supermarkets are sometimes criticised for greenwashing, but they're also looking for better solutions. So when they go to a fruit packer and they say, what do you do with effectively our waste? They say, we put it into AD. That's perhaps no longer enough. They're asking them to better valorize it and so get more out of it than simply a little bit of energy. And Black Soldier Fly and these bugs are a very good example of getting more out of it. This is improved valorization.
When the Adopt opportunity came along, or the Adopt grants opened up, I think we both spotted that there was a need to be able to demonstrate this, that this is repeatable. We'd been sort of making it up as we've been going along a little bit, or certainly on this farm. And I think we felt we just needed to try and formalise the research into the opportunity for other farmers.
The benefit of this is we have several of these units. The idea is that we put them on a farm, the farmer tries it for 3 months, tests out different substrates, tests out whether his staff can operate it, tests out whether the chickens and the poultry like the product, and test out whether there's a premium to be gained in the local market. What we have within the Adopt grant, which is led by Doug, we're going to build a bigger unit just down the hill inside his chicken house, which will give him more capacity. But we're also going to introduce another farm in Kent and another farm in Shropshire where they do something similar. So we've got to try and get the science around it as well. But if we can get 3 working case studies out of this grant with Adopt and then communicate those to other people through means of filming and so on, then I think that will be enormously valuable. And as I say, some will work and we'll learn from that, and some will not work, and then we will know which ones work, and then we can scale. Farmers were described as the custodians of the land. They were thinking generations, and in my lifetime that time span seems to have shrunk down to get the return as soon as possible. We can go back to a more sustainable model where food is produced locally. Food doesn't have to be produced by multinationals that nobody knows the name of. It could be produced by Doug, and he's going to keep a few chickens, and then you're going to take that chicken home and eat that with your family. But in order to be regenerative, we have to prove that these models are both commercially and environmentally sustainable. And by doing a few case studies with farmers, we can convince other farmers that this is a model worth trying out without taking any huge risks.
Yeah, so we're really pleased to be part of the Adopt programme, and it's an amazing piece of funding that's come from central government to really enable farmers to become imaginative. Farmers are naturally entrepreneurial and have some really good ideas. And what this enables us to do is to really trial these things on farm, get other farmers involved, get academia involved, get other partners involved, and to really demonstrate that some of these ideas, well, actually whether they do or don't work, both are important. You know, if it doesn't work, we need to stop doing it. If it does work, we need to do more of it. And hopefully this program will allow more people to adopt, you know, some of these techniques that we demonstrate work over time.